Ohio teachers can now carry guns inside of their classrooms. Let me give you the background to this. Put up the picture of the governor who decided this was a good idea. Republican Governor Mike DeWine of Ohio signed into law a controversial bill that allows armed teachers and other adults with reduced gun training in schools. They reduced the prerequisite and now they're making it allowable at a school. House Bill 99 was signed a week after the bill passed both Ohio House and Ohio Senate. Before it was signed into law, the bill sparked debate from many sides, with districts already declaring they will opt out of the plan. Critics say the governor has ignored the cries of those in Ohio to do something on gun violence and make communities safe. He has ignored their plea. The bill calls for a heavy reduction in training to carry a gun on school property. Isn't that something? You think that makes you more safe when you decrease the prerequisite training to have a gun around children? Really? There's more. The law now allows those in Ohio schools to arm teachers or other employees with up to 24 hours of training. Each member of a school defense team would be required to meet the minimum training and have a yearly criminal background check. Previous legislation required becoming a peace officer with over 700 hours. So before they said, okay, we can do it, but if we do it, there has to be a training mandate of 700 hours and the person must become a certified peace officer. Now, the reason why that was important in the original legislation is because it created a dynamic that allowed insurance companies to still be willing to insure schools that had armed teachers, because the insurance provider to that institution would say, okay, these are certified peace officers, we are going to still insure the school. Without that 700-hour prerequisite and the certification as a peace officer, most, if not all, insurance companies will decide to opt out because of the liability factor. So now you have a liability issue where the school teacher may have a bad day, or the school teacher decides to handle a conflict, a physical conflict with shooting someone, or a school student at the institution finds the gun and uses it against those at the school. Just a lot of variables here. The training would include how to stop an active shooter, how to de-escalate a violent situation, trauma first aid care, at least 4 hours in scenario-based or simulated training exercises, and completing tactical live firearms training. Additionally, the law will now require all schools in the state to establish what's called a behavioral threat assessment program and training, and will provide funding for schools to establish those programs. Additional funding included in the bill provides money for other mental health programs and money for districts that don't have a school safety tip line to connect into a statewide school safety tip line, according to the governor. In other words, it doesn't do a damn thing that would actually stop an active shooter. Nothing. All right, Adrienne, thoughts?
It's just ignorant and absolutely wild that they would go this direction to allow Ohio teachers to be armed, but also the training requirements, dropping it from 700 to now just 24 hours.
Yeah.
So you're going with what, 3.5% of what the mandate was previously, and you think that that's going to be acceptable when individuals around children, particularly when foremost, a lot of polls out there, they show that the majority of Americans and the largest majority of teachers don't want to arm teachers. But then on top of that, you think of what's gonna happen to black and brown kids, predominantly black kids in the K through 12 system, by virtue of the fact that we suffer punishment the most. We're disciplined even more aggressively than white students are for the very same behavior. So at the end of the day, this is going to end up policing and possibly killing more black people. And no one wants it.
Yeah, nobody wants it.
No one wants it.
And really, you should drop the mic on that point. Teachers don't want to be armed. Parents do not want teachers armed. The vast majority of voters do not want this. The vast majority of Americans in general do not want this. Just a few inside of the Republican Party who are wagging their fingers saying we know better than everybody else on the planet.